On this episode of Purposely Curious, I sit down with my girlfriend, Anna Karen, and we answer some questions men have. They submitted questions to the podcast, which we answer honestly, no matter how deep or not the question was. We enjoyed the easy conversation that Anna even suggested we do another, but with two men to get their perspectives, which I think would be a great idea. So, get nice and cozy as this episode starts now. Hello, everyone. Today I am with my friend Anna Karen. Hi.
Hi.
Say hi to everyone.
Hi, everyone. En todo el mundo.
En todo el mundo. So I wanted to have Karen on for a while. We've been talking, but one of the things is that, guys, I have a hard time getting girls on this show. I've had my girlfriend Elaine and my hairstylist, but when I mention it to girls, because I know a lot of badass women who have their shit together, you know, who have things that I think are worth talking about, they all tell me no, or let me think about it.
And never get back.
And never get back to me. So I was like, I need a woman on here, and so girls, if you're out there and you're listening and you want to be on the podcast, hit me up because I'm having trouble.
Slide into the DMs.
Slide into the DMs because all the girls that I know are like super shy for some reason, and they're, like I said, they're all badass.
It's the fear of the unknown, I have to say.
Yeah, not everyone's like social and
they're not
chatty like I am.
Yeah,
I talk a lot.
I talk a lot too.
So this just made me think of something. So I had posted on Facebook recently. Someone had posted, it was a eraser on Facebook that it was like something teachers would throw at you back in the days in school. And I had a nun who I went to school with. Okay. Or she was one of the instructors. I went to private school.
Okay.
And her name was Sister Sean. I didn't know when to stop talking. That
same.
In all my report cards, it was like
a pleasure to have in class, but
won't stop talking. Yes. So she would throw those erasers at me. And so I was like, they
were not the big block ones, right?
Yeah. Well, I can't remember,
because those ones hurt.
Yeah. And that's what I can't remember, but she would throw them at you if I probably was in my own world talking and she was,
trying to get your attention.
Yeah. So it was, one of the things where I said, and I guess that makes sense why I have a podcast, because I just love to talk.
¿Quién te va a decir que te calles?
Yes, it's my show. So, going back, so I wanted to have her here because I wanted us to do an episode about, this is two girls, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to have a conversation as to why we are the way we are. And so I went to Instagram and I went on TikTok. I have a TikTok, guys.
Yay.
And I did get some questions from men. Some are very light questions and some were kind of deep. And I thought it would be interesting to have two different women. I'm older than Anna, so maybe two different perspectives, right? Both of our experiences have been different. So I thought it'd be nice to have just like a casual conversation and while we discuss these questions. We may not agree with why we women are the way we are.
We definitely have different views, and again, the age gap also has a lot to do with it.
She just made me feel real old with that.
I'm old as well.
No, I'm just
I have no problem disclosing my age.
So let's start with the questions. I'm gonna try to pick them randomly. So maybe we can start with so this is from Patrick.
Hi, Patrick.
He asked a few questions, actually, which was, he said he had too many to ask, but we'll start with, why do most women have bad sense of direction? Do you feel like you have a bad sense of direction?
As in?
That was his question.
And just in general? Because it could be taken in any way.
Yes. I mean, I know I know my Southwest.
If we're talking about that, I'm horrible. I have no idea why.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. Yes, I would fucking need my navigation for mostly everything. I don't know why though.
Yeah. And I'm the same way. Like, if I'm in a city that I don't know,
That's true. Because if you're local, then I don't need it. But if I'm going out of the city, I'm familiar with, I'm definitely using it.
Yeah. So I guess this question isn't a good one because we all use navigation now.
Yeah, in general, I mean.
So the other thing he asked now, and I want to start with this because it seemed very negative. Oh, Patrick.
Hi, Patrick.
Why do a good portion of women have a lack of logic or understanding when it comes to engineering or understanding due process in certain fields or life events?
The machismo in this question, I can't stand it. I again, I think there's room for everything in what women do, while some may not be good at math or engineering, like others could be kick-ass in logistics, me being one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speak on it, girl.
My strengths or weaknesses shouldn't be generalized to all women, because I know some pretty badass woman engineer. And what would you say about that?
Yeah, like if you ask me about engineering, I wouldn't understand it.
But you're a nurse.
Exactly. I'm not an engineer.
Exactly. That doesn't mean that because I'm not a good engineer, it dumps me down from...
I totally agree with you 100%.
So, Patrick.
Oh, Patrick. I'm going to message him and be like, don't forget, make sure to listen to the episode. So, another thing he asked, he did ask a lot of questions.
I can see that. I can see it from here.
Are some of women's issues due to them living in male-dominated world? Well, obviously.
Yes, most definitely.
We have, I mean,
even in my field, I still see it now. I'm a manager, right, in logistics, and at the meetings, I'm the only woman in there, and I often deal with either the man not taking me as serious or seeing me below them, even though we hold the same title.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with you, and obviously we see it in the media all the time.
Correct.
Where people get paid. There's a difference. Yeah.
Athletes and all.
Yes. I have an example at my job, not where I'm at right now, but one that I was in maybe 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. The staff members, they were discussing, mostly they were social workers, I guess. Yeah. They all got paid a certain amount, and they were talking, and then the only male social worker kind of said what he was getting paid, and all the women were realizing he had no experience and was getting paid more than them.
Would you remember we had discussed a similar situation, where I worked,
mm-hmm.
where, I had a bunch of the females were the same roles, women, and the one male was making more than them mm-hmm. with the same responsibilities. And some of my women were more capable of fulfilling this job, but for whatever reason, the man was making more.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's there. The numbers are there. The data is there.
Yeah. So I guess, this seems like a dumb question to me. Obviously, a lot of...
Is it taunting? Is what I feel.
And not only that, if you think about the question... Let's look at birth control. We're not going to discuss it too much, but essentially a lot of times it's men dictating what women should do with
Correct.
Their bodies, so after the question he wrote, one note to my questions, I'm not putting all women into these categories. I understand that this doesn't apply to all, but there are questions we ask about the opposite sex at times when us are having dude chats. So I guess these are questions that him and his friends have asked each other about the women they're talking to.
But the question is being generalized, or else it would be worded different, I think.
Yeah. I think too is... Okay, so if you have a woman who's a teacher, she's not going to know engineering.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, we all choose different careers for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go and become an engineer if I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't
understand.
I'm still not understanding Patrick's question.
So another one, someone actually wrote in and said that they were curious as to why women think what is it that we women think we do differently
than
men, I guess. Everything.
Most definitely.
That's a tough one,
I
right?
just
To
think,
answer.
I know, yeah, because it doesn't really tie to anything specifically.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll skip that.
Yeah.
Next one. Why do women self-sabotage when a good guy comes into their life?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What do you think?
I think it's a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
It's sometimes the past relationship experiences,
100%.
you know, because every relationship shapes you in some way. So let's say I come from a very abusive relationship. My guard is going to be through the roof for the next person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think, again, like, we need to take the time
To heal. Yeah.
Because we won't allow that person, even if that person is a perfect guy and it's nice, we're not going to allow him to treat us that way because we're still so guarded from our past.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. And I agree with you 100%. And I'm speaking for myself. I have been, I have, my cousin once told me that she wanted to be like me in the sense that I always took time in between my relationships to be single versus her, you know, kind of like going from relationship to relationship.
Yeah.
I do get guarded. My heart, when I feel I fall in love with 100%.
Yes, same.
It takes me a while to get there. Now, to your question of self-sabotage, I'm getting there.
Mm-hmm.
It takes, when I fall in love, I don't fall in love right away. You have people, and there's no, you know, if that's the way you fall in love.
There's no wrong or right.
Yes, if that's the way you fall in love and you fall in love quick, then that's great, you know. For me, it takes a while. I have to grow into the love. But the reason I grow into the love is because I don't allow myself to have those feelings right off the bat. Because whether it's my childhood issues, right? My childhood traumas.
Yeah, because everything is not always the men, but we also carry traumas from our childhood that play a big part.
Exactly. So I have like my childhood traumas in the sense that, you know, my relationship with my father, you know, the way I saw my parents interact. It already made me feel like I want to make sure I don't continue those cycles. Mm-hmm. So I'm very observant and I want to take my time because I'm looking for a husband.
And it's also a defense mechanism.
Yes. Defense mechanism. Correct. The second is past relationships, right? Mm-hmm. You've been hurt. You don't want to feel that. So you put your guard up. And so that's where my self-sabotage comes in, because I could meet a good guy, but if I'm not ready, I'm not ready.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if that guy is a really good candidate. It doesn't matter because you're not ready. You're not you're not going to I don't want to say value, but what's another word? You're not going to see the good in him as much as he wants to show it.
Yeah.
You're just not going to be able to take it in as you should.
Now, we're speaking about self-sabotaging as a defense mechanism.
Correct.
Right now, but there may be women who self-sabotage because that's just what they do.
But you know, there's also the insecurities on our own persona that could also cause the self-sabotage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily have to come from a trauma related to men.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. So it definitely, you know, it varies from person to person, but I'm speaking for myself. Mm-hmm. For me, it's, you know, just being afraid of getting into a relationship.
Same here.
Getting hurt again. And at the same time, if I'm still healing from a previous relationship or going through some stuff, I don't want to rush any relationship.
And then you could potentially hurt that person if you rush into it.
Exactly.
Because, you know, while someone's ready to take in all your love and give it to you, and if you're not ready, you are bound to hurt that person. Yeah. Someone's gonna get hurt. It's gonna end up bad. At least that's my take on it.
I agree with you 100%. And what with my first relationship, I feel like I was very, let's just go with it, no fears. I've grown to be very outspoken. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you. Oh,
hey.
Oh my God. So you guys, did you guys hear that? Siri just found 6 early signs to toxic relationships. So I don't know how my Apple Watch touched that.
But is it letting us know we're toxicas?
So what I was going to tell you is, like, with my ex, I wasn't ready initially, and I was dealing with a lot of emotional stuff, and I was very honest with him, and I told him, I don't know what I want right now, and if you have other women you want to date, by all means go and date them. And that's one thing that I know my exes have told me, that I've always been honest.
And that's the key, though. Honesty is the key.
Yes.
Because then you give that person the choice to whether they want to continue pursuing you or, never mind, I'll go my way.
Yes. Yeah. Because you don't want to,
Again, someone ends up hurt.
Yes.
I don't think that ever.
And that is another form of sabotage, right? Like you're leading someone on when you know you're not ready.
Yeah.
So why not walk away?
I haven't. But you know what? There's some people that might feel lonely and the need of that person. And that's why they take them on to this try of a relationship. Situationship is what it is, actually. But, everyone's different.
Everyone is different, yeah. I know sometimes I would get scared too.
It is scary at times.
Yeah, to be dating, like, I don't know. I don't have the energy to do that right now.
I think when we're older, it gets complicated too.
It does, yeah.
Everything scares me. Or I doubt myself or even that person. I don't know.
Yeah.
Leading again to the self-sabotage.
So, yeah, we're having a therapy session right now.
For free.
Yeah. So, I think it's just the best way for men and women not to self-sabotage is open communication. Honesty and open communication. I've also noticed that I shut down sometimes when I don't, I don't know. I don't know if that's a form of sabotage. This is just like shutting down. But I overly communicate as well. So it's one of those weird things I have. I don't know.
I think it's normal to shut down when you're not interested, though. But just people don't pick up those hints and they continue.
No, but even then, I mean, like shutting down, like if what I'm getting at is like, I care about this. I love this person, but I would like shut down. My brain would just be like, shut down. But I think that goes back to my childhood.
Got it.
It wasn't anything against the person. I would just shut down. And that's another thing. It's almost like we're self-sabotaging without realizing it. And
because that is true. We could do it without even.
Yeah. And it has nothing to do with the person you're dating. But if that person
doesn't communicate, like you would go unknowingly doing so.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they don't question your motives.
Yeah. Or if they get frustrated. Yeah. They need to. I feel like people need to understand sometimes. Like that's where the dating process is so important. In getting to know the person that you're talking to. Because then you might be like, okay, she shuts down, I just got to give her some time to process.
And if that's something that you're willing to work with.
Yeah.
Because some people might just get frustrated at you shutting down. And
oh, yeah, for sure. And I guess that's why they're not in my life, I guess, maybe. I don't know. But, I can pride myself in the sense that in the beginning of any relationship that I've had, besides my first relationship, I have sabotaged in the beginning the first two. I would just freak out and it had nothing to do with them. Yeah. It was just my inner issues with my feelings and
I haven't had many relationships, but a serious one with the father of my child. But I feel that I do it now when it's like, if I want to date someone, I find every excuse. And I think, again, it's tied to my past, though. Mm-hmm. Of how the things I went through that I put this guard up and I find everything wrong with me or what could potentially be.
We're trying to protect ourselves.
Yeah. And that's why I say it's a defense mechanism because I don't want to be in that situation again.
Yeah. So I guess I don't know if that's an answer for you. That's for Mega Man of the Mega Man podcast. He wanted to know why some women self-sabotage. Again, this varies from woman to woman.
Correct.
Here we're discussing about our past traumas, and that kind of builds us to who we are. Obviously some people are okay with falling in love right away, and some of us need to take a lot of time. And so some people might say that we're sabotaging our happiness, but
I think it's the contrary, though.
I believe so, too.
Because you give yourself that time. You need that alone time to grow and to really get to know yourself. Like, what is it that you want on that next relationship? Mm-hmm. Because I know for a long time I was lost. I had no idea what I wanted. and it resulted me to get hurt, or, you know, just situations that I didn't need to be in. But now I could say that I know what I want. I know what I'm expected and what I feel I deserve.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I would be much more ready to take a relationship on now than I did before, a year ago or two.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah.
And you learn to be happy on your own.
That's the key, the most
Yeah.
important thing. I'm
And once
still
you
learning.
master that,
Yeah.
anybody who comes in your life is just a plus,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
So
I can't wait, guys.
Yes.
I can't wait. And I'm sure you can't wait either.
Same.
Another question, and this one's kind of lighthearted, is when it's time to eat, it's always, I don't know. Why?
Honestly, with me, I'm such a tragona. I'm going to tell you what I want to eat.
Yeah.
And it's mostly going to be tacos,
Mm-hmm.
because street tacos are the best.
Yeah. For me, I did do that. Whatever, or I say whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's me trying to cater to what they want. But I think maybe what the guys would get annoyed is not having an input. Maybe they want you to have an input.
And see, and when it comes to food, I'm going to give an input because I'm not very open-minded when it comes to food.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm not going to take that chance of you taking me somewhere and I'm not going to like it. So I'm going to tell you, hey,
Yeah.
I'm craving this.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to risk going to a place and trying something I don't like.
Oh, yeah. That is a risk. When
Like it just last year, I tried pad thai. I'm 31.
what'd you think?
I love it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's delicious.
I
But I'm
always
saying, like, I
order
wouldn't
pad
take
thai.
that risk.
Yes. My parents used to order chow mein with Thai food, and
Ooh.
I was like, why? And so I introduced them to pad thai, and they're like, oh my God, this is so good. Like, I don't know why they like chow mein.
So when it comes to food, I have no problem expressing what I want.
Yeah. I am myself the same. But I do cater, and I'll say, like, whatever you want. No, that's
Mhm.
fine. But then when they would give suggestions, I would be like, no.
Yeah,
No,
correct.
no.
Like if they would give me a suggestion that it's good, I'm like, oh, definitely, yeah, that's fine. But if you don't tell me, if you don't have an idea already of what you want to eat or where you want to take me, I'm gonna tell you because I don't want
Yeah.
to be put in a
Yeah. So we're different in that way.
yeah.
But I have come a long way. I do try more foods now. I'm more open to foods. I think it was just a comfort thing
Oh
for
my God,
me.
I have a friend who takes me out to eat different foods.
Mm-hmm.
And I only do it with him just because I feel comfortable that if I'm not gonna like it, I'm like, you know?
Yeah.
I feel
yeah.
I have that comfort with him. But usually trying new foods would be with my friend.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
my go-to person.
Oh, yeah. Food is amazing. So I think we will start a movement of just picking where we want to go eat and
That'd be
period.
cool.
And then I guarantee you the guys are going to be like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, but we're known for that, I guess. Another question. Now this one is really good. Why, I guess, this is from Bruce. Talk shit about other women so much, but also act like they support or are pro women. Why do we do that?
Dude, that's true. I see it a lot. And it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like we need to have more respect for one another.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least be grown enough to talk to each other about our differences and be like, you know what, this and this, and hash it out. Or, you know, just don't interfere with each other if you don't like it.
Yeah.
But I see it all the time.
There's a movie called Mean Girls, right?
Oh, true.
I went to all girls private school, high school.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's a bunch of girls being catty. I think I can speak for myself. In high school, I learned real quick that I need to weed out the drama. I want to build on women. I want women to feel like they're in a safe space around me. And trust me, if you don't hear from me, if we hang out once and you don't hear from me again, I'd probably cut you out because I have the drama radar, and I'm very confident in the sense that, you know, I don't care what people say about me. That's one thing I always told my mom. My mom would always be like, what are people going to say? Do they pay my bills?
Yes.
Do they pay my bills?
But
I
you
don't
know
care.
what? Me too. My mom always tells me that because out of my two sisters, I'm the craziest, right? I would freaking dance in el supermercado. Like, a mí no me importa. But it's always like, ¿qué van a decir de ti? And it's like, who cares? And it was hard for me to accept at one point. But now it really is, who cares? If you're not paying my bills, who cares?
Yeah. And there are two, I can attest that there are two groups of women in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Those that will build each other up and those that will tear each other down.
We need more hype women.
We need more hype women. And I guarantee you, just from me going to an all-girls school, I decided I'm going to be a hype woman. You know, yes, my girlfriends get on my nerves sometimes, you know.
And that's normal.
Yes, but we are there for each other. And
Correct.
if there's the girlfriends that I have been lifelong friends for a reason. And the real quick, if there's any drama or sarcasm, if you don't mesh in any of our group, you're not in. We can be cordial, but we don't
Correct.
fuck with that. Like,
and I think, yeah, girlfriends with very few on my hand counted. But you're right, because you could see it too. Like, it's
right
very
off the bat, right?
Yeah,
we can tell the fakeness.
Yeah,
and
it's very noticeable. I have no clue why those type of women are the way they are, and I actually think it's insecurities of their own.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Because I know that, you know, with my girls, if someone's launching a business and that's in general with all my friends, I'm going to be hyping it up. I'm going to be reposting it. I want to see them do good.
Mm-hmm.
So my only thought behind someone not doing that is just, you know, they have their own internal issues, their insecurities,
Mm-hmm.
and they lash them out on others.
Yeah. And that's 100%. Even if you go to a job, you know, someone's treating you bad, just realize it's not about you. There's the whole psychology of it. It's not about you. It's literally they got more issues going on.
I think if we would as women would take more time to work on ourselves, we could probably have more hype women.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. So
The work is internal.
yes, we have to really start with ourselves. And if you guys have daughters out there, you know, you have a daughter, is just teaching them, you know, because we all have insecurities. I have insecurities. You guys might see me doing my podcast,
Same.
my crafts, posing on Instagram, confident, because I am confident.
Yes.
But I'm insecure as well,
Correct.
you know. But I don't need, in my mind, I don't need that negativity. So I choose, because I also realize that I'm fragile. I can be fragile as fuck, being confident as fuck, right? I don't want that negativity that makes me. So in that sense, I feel like we should teach our daughters, you know, to be hype women, hang around friends who want to be there for us. You know what I mean? I love my mom.
Actions are way louder than words.
Yeah.
Because I think he mentioned, right? Like, you guys support each other, let's say on socials, but you guys are bashing each other behind your backs. You know, it's bad.
Yeah.
So you have to look out for those actions. Like, do those actions back up the words that are coming out of their mouth?
Yeah. Be a good person.
Yeah.
Be drama free. Like, the drama for me is like,
it's the best way to be.
Yes. The drama for me is like, who's my new neighbor? Who's moving in? You know, like that's the drama I love, or like a TV. And so definitely, ladies, we should be building each other up. We should not, you know, if you're talking shit about someone, just don't talk to them. Like, that means either
Avoid it.
If
you don't like them for whatever reason,
cut them off.
Bye.
You don't need that. Why are you giving
There's
them
those
that
block
energy?
buttons for a reason. Those unfriend buttons for a reason. Just remove yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't seem to be able to change it or cope with it, then there's no need for it in your life.
You
Very
said
easy.
it. If you cannot cope with another person, just
let it go.
Let it go. Yeah. Yeah. So only hype women here.
Yes.
I had someone on TikTok ask, why do we lose feelings somewhere in the relationship while being in the relationship, but then don't say anything, and then we get back together after a while? Like,
so did you finish, or did they break up or not?
well, that's what I'm trying to understand. Or do we wait? We lose feelings somewhere while being in a relationship. Don't say anything.
Communication is so key.
Yeah.
But if you lose feelings for someone and don't voice it out, I'm going to be leaning towards your comfort. You're so comfortable in that space. And it could be fear that's stopping you from voicing out, because, you know, maybe voicing out will mean the end of things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know how that goes.
So if you're so comfortable, and if it's been a long relationship, you see where that may be the case, because it's scary to end something that's been there for a very long time.
Yeah, or your fears of regretting it.
Yeah. Or let's say I'm gonna tell him, and if things end and I regret making this decision and there's no going back. But I don't think anybody should put their happiness at stake just for comfort.
Yeah, I agree.
You need to voice that out.
Yes.
And if it's meant to be and you voice it out and you guys work on it, then good, But if they're not ready to have those conversations, I don't think you should be there.
Yeah. So basically, girls, if you have anything that's bothering you, that you just put it on the table.
Yeah.
Put it on the table.
The sooner the better.
The sooner the better. So you're not wasting 6 years of your life. Put it on the table. And yeah, it's true. Put it on the table, because you might not be on the same page as the other person.
Correct.
And, it's easier to walk away sooner than later.
Yeah.
It's harder.
The
when
time
you walk away.
You waste in those relationships, you don't get back.
Definitely. Another question is, why do women have self-esteem issues? Now, these are men.
Oh my God, that's a lot.
Men are asking these questions. Because of you guys. Dads. Our moms.
It's true, though. Because I could tell you that my mom was very harsh growing up, So it's always maltratos here and there. And you grow up thinking all of that is true,
Yeah. So a lot
hard.
of our insecurities come from our childhood, the way we were raised.
Yeah.
Right? From boys. Okay. If you guys haven't seen me on Instagram, I am 5 feet 2 inches. I weigh about 100 pounds. I'm petite.
Yeah.
Like the scrubs I wear for work are literally the petite line, extra, extra small. That's how fucking small I am. Okay, guys. I had a guy tell me in high school, you're so pretty, but if only you were 15 pounds.
But only.
If I was 15 pounds thicker, right? That stuck with me.
Of course.
So when I went to private school, right?
And you're young.
And I'm young. I went to private school, and we had uniforms. So it could be a skirt or, pants. I would always wear my pants to school because I, at that point, was like, I have skinny legs. I don't feel comfortable, but I remember we talked, I've always been confident.
Correct.
I could work a room. I could say a speech at school. I wasn't shy, but those were my insecurities, was being Latina, skinny,
which
little
is
tiny bit, and
the opposite of what everyone's
voluptuous. Yeah. And so for me, that was my self-esteem, because even though I was raised confident by my dad and my mom, it's like I guess we don't realize what we say. He said it in such a nice way. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That maybe he didn't realize.
Yeah,
maybe he didn't realize that he was saying it in a malicious way.
Yeah.
But that stuck with me. And I didn't feel comfortable, guys. I did not feel comfortable wearing or showing my pale legs, because I'm very pale, until I was like 23. And I'm 37 now. You know what I mean? So that was where my self-esteem issues came from, is somebody would say something to me. And
I think that's usually what it is. It's always someone saying something, and it might be for them and might not be in a malicious way, but the way we interpret it and the way it made us feel at the moment sticks.
Yes. Now, do you have an example where maybe someone said something to you, or a self-esteem issue you have?
I think with me, it's more like, since I was raised in a Catholic home, a very strict one, my mom was always, you have to dress a certain way, right? So if you go to school, everybody's dressed chic and this and that. The moment I tried to do something like that, it was like, what are you doing? Good girls or decent girls don't dress like this. So I started thinking my body didn't look good in these garments, right? So I'm 31 and I struggle wearing like very short stuff or a mini dress. I just don't feel comfortable. Although I see women wearing it and I'm like, oh my God, she rocks it.
So you don't feel comfortable because you feel like it's not decent because your parents told you that?
Correct.
Ah.
And it makes me self-conscious of my own body. Like, I have hips, right? So if I wear anything short, it's gonna slide up, right? So it starts making me feel uncomfortable about my curves.
Mm-hmm.
It's where I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
As much as I want to and I want to rock it, other people might tell me, oh my God, you look great in it. But the way I feel in it is the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just because of, how I grew up thinking. So
yeah.
it has a lot to do with our childhood trauma or,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, rejection that
Yeah,
can
that too.
really mess up our self-esteem. And, especially.
And then in general, like, society has created this picture of what we should
look like.
And it's very unrealistic.
So we were talking about high school, how I felt super skinny going to, with my girlfriends at Bishop Connolly, shout out Bishop Connolly, all beautiful, voluptuous women. And here I was like skinny and the boys literally saying I was not voluptuous enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
As girls. So now think of social media. We didn't have social media back then. So
and it's still an impact.
Yeah. So now it's worse,
Yeah.
right? So here I am, like, I'm very confident where I, go out but I'm still very conservative. Like, I'm not totally showing off everything. But it goes back to my, my upbringing and then boys saying this and that. I have an ex. I'm going to call him out.
Uh-oh.
My middle one, he would always say, like, oh, you should get a tan. I should do this. But by then I was already like 27, 28, and I was already past. I was more confident in my skin than I was before. But I was just like, why do you always tell me what I should not do? Had I been 23, 21,
you would have been tanning.
I would have been tanning because I was so insecure. Now I'm like, you know what? Why do you always say that? Like, I'm fucking pale, and that's just, I like it, and I don't want to be in the sun. Like
2 years ago, you would not see me. 2 or 3 years ago, you would not see me posting the pictures I post now on my Instagram.
Girl, you look confident as fuck.
Thank you. I've come a long way. But I wouldn't do that, right? Mm-hmm. Because I was so self-conscious, or I was too afraid of what people were gonna say. Mm-hmm. I'm a mom, right? Why are you wearing that short dress? Or why are you posting this certain way? You were so critiqued.
Yeah.
So
women more so than men.
Yeah. So 3 years ago, you wouldn't see that. You would probably see from my shoulder up pictures, but now I'm like, fuck that. I'm in a place where I'm happy and I'm embracing what my body is.
Yeah.
Do I want to perfect it a little bit? Of course. We
always do. Yeah.
We always do. But I think I'm learning to love the stages I'm in.
Yeah.
And that shows.
Yes. And when you hit your 30s, girls, if any girls are listening,
I love my 30s.
Most women in their 30s are the most confident that they ever have been. Because in our 20s, we're working out our insecurities.
Correct.
For me, my legs wouldn't see the light of day because I was, a boy told me that I was too skinny.
I was pregnant at 20. I was 22 while I was pregnant. So right after that, you have your child, I gained so much weight. So my 20s were so bad for me because I was overweight, just gave birth. It was bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my 30s, let's do this.
And that's another thing. So we're talking about the physical aspects. So correct. Yes, we women also have insecurities in relationships.
Yes.
And sometimes now this could be in relationships with our family, boyfriends, right? Girlfriends, whatever it is we're into. And so a lot of times is we just need to meet the person that will communicate with us openly, to help us overcome those. And I think that's been
a point for this podcast a lot. The communication and the honesty.
Keeps coming up.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Those are 2 points that keep coming up. And I think they're important to address a lot of these questions.
Yeah.
The more honest and open we are to the communication, I think it would diminish a lot of the issues that arise, or not diminish, but work through them.
Yeah. Now, I just had this thought while you were saying that is we as women also have to check who we're picking as friends, who we are picking as
to surround ourselves with.
Yes, our lovers, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes, you know, I had a girlfriend once say, why do I always attract the crazies? And I remember telling her, because I'm here as her friend looking on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
it sounds like it's you because
It
you're
definitely
picking
is.
them. So sometimes what I'm trying to allude to is that sometimes we have to look at ourselves as to why we're bringing in
detox.
Yes, why we're bringing in these things or these people that are just making us feel making us feel insecure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we have it's okay to be single, ladies, as long as you need to find yourself, so that when these people try to make us feel insecure, whether maliciously or not, we already know who we are and we're totally like cool.
Correct.
Because going back to what I told you about the tanning, you know, my response was like, why do you keep telling me to tan? Like,
this is who I am.
This is who I am. But
si te gusta, bueno, y si no, esta la puerta.
No. But first, come over here. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but you're right. The singleness phase, it is a good time to work on ourselves and boost our confidence. And if we don't like and I have to say, we have to take accountability. Like, if we really don't like something about ourselves, what are we doing to change it?
Yes.
Because we could, and I'm going to take me, for example, I complain about my body like you have no idea, right? But then I'm also sitting down in my couch eating a bag of hot Cheetos every other day. So it's like, okay, Karen, are you serious? Because you could only complain so much. It's not going to change if you keep on doing this.
Yeah.
So I think we also as women have to take accountability and recognize, you know, I do have self-esteem issues. What can I do?
Yeah.
To boost that up.
Yeah. And it comes down to you wanting to change that. And I'm speaking for myself now. Like, you know, COVID was really hard for me in my healing process from my old relationship because I felt kind of like lonely.
Yeah.
I eventually had to say, I can't do this. I need to change my thought process. You know, like COVID is here and I just got to deal with it and, you know, the anxiety. And so I started
find what works.
And it was just, you know, stuck to it. And now I'm on a whole nother level where I just want everyone to be happy because I'm happy. You know, I'm trying
Words of affirmation.
Yes.
I heard that on your last podcast.
So I decided I needed to change for myself, and I'm not going to drag anyone into my insecurities until I sort it out.
For yourself,
yes,
is when you see the real change.
Oh, for sure.
That's when you see it.
Yes.
That's when that glow kicks in and you start attracting better.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
That's when you know, you attract better people.
Yes.
Genuine. It's awesome.
Yes. And that if you're in a rut, guys, it doesn't mean you're a bad person or you're the people who are happier than you are. We're in different stages, you know. Like I have I'm not just saying it to say it, but I have a fucking big ass heart. You know what I mean? Like I just, you know, deal with things differently, and so to some people I might feel like I close off, but that's just how I deal with it, because I try to handle my feelings first before I handle others.
Lash out.
Yes. Or or not even lash out, just before I can handle certain things. But I don't know, I wasn't always like this. I was a hot mess when I was 18. Like I was just like,
but I mean, that's the point. You're growing, you know, as long as you're growing and you're not
exactly.
And that's where I say the accountability counts, you know, because you could complain so much, but at the end of the day, we're the ones in charge of where we're headed.
Yes.
So taking accountability is another thing that we really have to work on.
Yes. Taking accountability. And girls, if you are out there and you have girlfriends that make you feel insecure, you should really look at
cut them, because I that's what I understand. People who genuinely love you don't hurt you. There's one thing, if I'm going to pull you to the side and tell you, Mary, you know, you need to cut this out because it's hurting you, versus just, let's say it was a drinking problem, right? And I pull you to the side, this is hurting, versus just, you're nothing, you're a low life, you drink all the time. There's a big difference.
Oh yeah.
You know? So I don't understand how people feel like relationships, whether friendships or not, you know, if they hurt you, it doesn't
Yeah. So
result in loving you.
yes, I have a friend who we will not name, who has a friend who
Voldemort.
who we other friends don't like. And it's because we've seen the way her friend is, kind of like condescending to her. But she was being looked at by a boy, my friend, and she was like, oh, did you see he was looking at me? And you know what her friend said?
Oh my God.
Oh.
The low-key hater, huh?
Yes. Oh, he was actually looking at me. Like, let's say it was true. Why the fuck would you say that? Yes.
If you see that, oh my God. Yeah,
so just think of how my friend probably felt. You know what I mean? So if you have a
her confidence went. Whoop.
Yeah. So if you have a girlfriend who's like that, girls, you guys need to walk away. The moment you cut that toxic friend out, you're going to be like more secure about yourself. So yes, I don't know why I brought that up. I'm sorry. I just got sidetracked, but that's just what it is, I guess, sometimes. So a few of the men actually asked about low self-esteem. So I'm going to skip through the next.
Okay.
Why is it that a man always has to be the first to ask a girl out? Why can't girls just say, hey, what's up? Let's hang.
You know what I think it is? And I think that's mutual for both parties, though. It's the fear of rejection. Mm-hmm. Because I know... I will not name names, but I know I would question my friend like, hey, what do you think about me shooting my shot to this person? And he was like, dude, do it. That's like, we love it. Like, as guys, we like it. It's a confidence that comes through, you know? Mm-hmm. But on the other end, I'm like, damn, I'm afraid. Like, what about if he says no? Like, you know, it's just the fear of rejection. Because in reality, nothing happens if they say no. You know, you move on. You move on.
You don't really know them.
But yeah. I think it's that. And we're like not conditioned to see it happen that way too.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to know my take on it?
Go.
So I've been in love 3 times. Hey. And I went up to the guys those 3 times.
Ooh.
Those are the only times I've pursued the guys. And it's been pretty good for me. So
good.
The first one was my cousin's wedding. He's my first boyfriend. Mm-hmm. I thought he was cute. I gave him my email address. Guys, back then, like,
email address.
Here's my email. He was my first boyfriend, and we were together for years. Second one, I met at Coachella. We were waiting for taxis, and he was there with his friends. I overheard them talking, and they were talking in Spanish, but I couldn't understand the accent.
Okay.
And
accents
so
intrigue me.
Yes. So I was like, where are you guys from? You know, mm-hmm. And it was 3 in the morning. We were just him and his group of friends and me and my group of friends. And they were from Spain. And then next thing you know, we're talking and we're like, let's exchange Facebook, and boom. And then the last one, it was at a Galaxy game.
Nice.
I liked what I saw, and I was like, so what's up with so-and-so, you know?
Hey, I like it. I love it.
So I think for me, it's worked out.
And see, I need to be a little bit more like you in that sense. Like, I need to be a little bit more confident and just be like, I know what I bring to the table. Let me just shoot my shot and see where it goes.
So I do tell my girlfriends where they're like, oh, guys don't come up to me. And I always say, well, why don't you do it? And I have girlfriends who are like, well, no, they should come up to me. And I was like, well, why? I've had 3 relationships off of me going up to them.
And
you know
long
what I mean?
relationships.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, it's not so much like, oh, the man should do it. For me, it's more like I'm scared or just nervous to do so, you know? But it's not like I'm waiting for the man to come to me. Not at all. Like, I would, if I could get past that fear, I'd probably be so down for it.
So in 2021,
this is what we're doing.
If you see a cute guy and you're into it, just be like, you know what? Fuck it. Mary said, what the hell do you have to lose?
Slide into the DMs.
Or just go up to a guy if you're, you know,
if you're there.
Just be like, hey, my name is, boom, here's my hand.
Yeah.
You know, shake it.
And I think that's also the case because right now in the conditions we're in, you know, it's slide into the DMs, but I don't think I could show my personality
Yeah.
as much as in person.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I can tell you for me, the at least the people that I've met, it's been in person. So when I say I've pursued these guys, it was
And that
in
would
person.
be a little bit more nerve-wracking, if anything.
Yeah, and that, remember we talked about
Yeah.
I'm confident as
Yeah.
fuck, but at the same time just as insecure. Like, so if I think a guy is cute, I'm gonna go talk to him. I don't have a problem with it, but it happens very rarely for me.
And see, I would admire from afar.
Oh no.
Or I'd be bold as hell on social, and then I meet you in person. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, no. So I don't do well with social. So like if guys slide into my DMs, I'm like, oh, okay, how, thanks, you know, and that's it. So
Yeah.
at least for me, the guys, the answer to your question for me is the 3 relationships I've had have literally been me asking them out.
And me, it's just, you know, the fear of what the
Rejection.
outcome is going to be. I'm
So
like,
Anna
what?
is
Rejection.
going to change
Yes.
that in 2021, and
I
if
promise.
she sees a cute guy, she's gonna go up to him. And you said your friend told you they like that.
Yeah. My friend was like, it's confidence that comes through it. We like it. So I was like, oh my God, something new. We need to do an episode of this, but the opposite sex.
Oh yeah, like me talk to like guys.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that would be a good one.
Question guys.
Yes, I'm totally down with that. Yes. Yeah, because, you know, and what it is you just say like, hey, you seem like really cool. We should get coffee sometime. The guy's just going to tell you no. They do it all the time. So
Yeah,
why
true.
not? You never know. I mean, and even then some guys don't like that, but what it is what it is. What do you have to lose?
Yeah. It's a no.
It's
You'll live. Says the one that doesn't do it.
yes. I don't know. So yes. So Anna's has fear of rejection, and I've totally been cool with it since I was young. So guys, and keep in mind, I had no boyfriends in high school because no one wanted to talk to me.
You know what? Same here.
No one wanted to date me in high school.
Same here.
But I had the courage to be like, hey, here's my email address.
Hey. And that's an email address. That's not, what is it, 7 digits?
7 digits.
It's
What
not
are your
7
7
digits.
digits?
It's an email address.
Yeah. And I'm still friends with my first boyfriend. He's like married. He's a doctor now. And so he would always say, he'd always laugh at that thought because he told me, why don't you just give me your phone number?
You're like, huh? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
Old
confident but dorky as fuck like that. But yeah.
Chat me.
Chatty. My AM messenger.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, I'm old. Well, thank you so much for being here. This
Thank
is
you for having
really
me.
fun. I think we should do one where maybe it's you, me, and 2 guys.
I would be so down for it.
Yeah, we'll have to brainstorm on which guys to have on.
Yes.
Yes. So I don't know if, again, of all the questions, if we answered them to your liking, guys. But we tried. Just know that, you know, we are very complicated women out there. There are very complicated women who are like drama, because I have girlfriends who are drama driven. And then we have women who are not, but maybe are not very communicative.
Existe de todo.
And same for you guys.
You know, but communication, like we said, and honesty is what's going to lead us to either cut it or pursue it.
Yes. Honesty and communication will break down those barriers for a lot of relationships.
Agreed.
Yeah. So just don't be so hard on us, and we won't be so hard on you guys. So
Agreed. That's a pact.
yes. Well, thank you for being on this episode, and we will do one. I'm going to get on with you as far as getting 2 guys on. So that would be super interesting episode.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
That would be
So
great.
thank you guys for listening in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. That was episode 47 of the Purposely Curious podcast. Make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on most podcast platforms. And follow us on social media at Purposely Curious on Instagram and at Purposely C Pod on Twitter. That's Purposely, the letter C, Pod. Until next time, you know what to do.